Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing two simple and effective methods for making cassava fufu. If you haven't subscribed, please take a moment and do so. Now let's get started. For this cassava fufu recipe, the only ingredient you will need is freshly harvested cassava. Start by peeling the cassava. To do this, make a slit in the middle of the cassava. Then gently turn your knife around it to remove the skin, just as I'm demonstrating in the video. Once peeled, remove the woody part including the head and any black spots to ensure your fufu comes out smooth, white and fine. It's important to use freshly harvested cassava that has just been uprooted from the ground. If the cassava has been sitting for a day or two, it may not ferment as needed. For those outside Nigeria where freshly harvested cassava may not be available, you can use a catalyst like baking soda to help soften the cassava and speed up the fermentation process. However, since I'm in Nigeria and working with freshly harvested cassava, there is no need for a catalyst in this recipe. I will then proceed to wash my cassava 2 to 3 times, or until the water runs clear, or until my cassava is sparkling white, just as you see in the video. Next, I will cut the cassava into smaller chunks to help it ferment more quickly. Once that's done, I'll add enough water to fully cover the cassava, seal it tightly and place it in a warm spot to ferment for 3 days. Once the cassava is covered, avoid touching or opening it. Allow it to sit undisturbed for 3 days. If it doesn't ferment by then, it won't ferment again. Simply drain the water, sun dry it and blend it to make dried cassava fufu, also known as elubo in Yoruba or akpu in Igbo. After 4 days of fermentation, it's soft and well fermented as you can see in the video. I will drain the water and rinse it with some fresh water to ensure it's clean and ready for the next step. Allowing the cassava to ferment is very important, especially here in Africa where cassava tends to have higher levels of cyanide. The fermentation process helps to remove the cyanide and also reduce the starch content, making the fufu healthier and safer to consume. I just finished mashing the cassava fufu into a paste so it will be easy for me to wash when I'm washing. Next, I will wash the fermented fufu. To start, I will need a medium-sized bowl because the fufu I'm washing is not much, and also a sieve and some water to fill the bowl halfway. I will scoop the fufu into the sieve, place it in the bowl of the water and gently squeeze the mixture with my hands. This helps to separate the fufu from the chaff. Once the chaff remains in the sieve, I will discard it. But on a second thought, here is the chaff I got from the fufu, but I won't be discarding it this time. I'm going to blend it. Nigeria, things are expensive, the economy is hard, so I'm going to just blend it. Then go ahead and wash it. Then discard the remaining chaff, which is not too much, as you can see in the video. This is the chaff I got from it, you see, just little. If you don't have a blender, just discard it. After washing the fufu, let it sit for 3 hours. This will allow the fufu to settle at the bottom and the water to rise to the top. After 3 hours, carefully pour out the water on top. Be careful to avoid mixing the water with fufu, just as I'm doing here. Next, pour the remaining fufu into a pap bag or a cheesecloth. Tie the bag securely and place it on top of a bowl. Use a heavy object to weigh it down, allowing the excess water to drain out, just as I'm doing here. Leave it to drain for 6 to 7 hours or overnight. After 6 to 7 hours of draining, this is what it looks like. As you can see, it has solidified. So I'm going to transfer it into a bowl and I'll use my hand to compress it, to press it down. Then I'll cover and store in my refrigerator. This fufu can stay up to 3 to 6 months in the refrigerator. But for now, I'm going to be showing you the 2 ways of making fufu. This is the first method. Let's get started. So in a bowl, I'll bring out some of the fufu into a bowl. Before that, let's put some water on fire because we're going to use this water for the fufu. So I'll use my hand to mash the fufu. I'll add little water, then I'll mix it properly until it looks like this. Please It shouldn't be soft, so it won't scatter in the water as we are cooking it. So just this consistency is perfect. So I'll mold it into a ball shape. The fufu is not much, so I'm just going to mold it into 2 balls, and I'll use my hand and beat it just as I'm doing here. This method is the way the Igbos make their fufu. So let's check on our water. Water is boiling. Then I'll go in with the fufu, and I'll cover the pot and let it cook for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, this is what it looks like. Then I'll bring it out from the fire. Then let's proceed to the next step. I took some hot water from the pot. I added more water, and I cover it and continue cooking. Then I'm going to pound it. This is the Igbo way of making. This is a traditional Igbo method of making fufu. Then I'll pound. I added some water. That water I brought out from the pot earlier, I added some of it, and I continue pounding. I'll pound till it looks like this, till it's very smooth. Then that's when you know that the fufu is okay. The first step is okay. I'll just mold into a ball shape. Not really a ball shape, just cut it out. I mean, you don't need to mold at this point. I will put it back into the pot of boiling water and let it cook for another 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, this is what it looks like. It is ready. So I'm going to take it off the fire. Then I'll proceed to pound it. I will pound. Please, when you're pounding and you notice that it's sticky, you can just add little cold water, just not room temperature water. Then you continue pounding. But for here, I didn't need any water, so I just pounded till it's looking drawy, smooth and fluffy. As you can see, this is the texture it should look like before you bring it out from the mortar. Our fufu is ready here. The first method is ready, so I'll go ahead and tie it in a cling film, and I'll set it aside and proceed to the second method. Tell me in the comment section, do you know about this method? Have you tried it, or is it something new or something you would like to try? Let me know your thought in the comment section. Second method is the general method, but some people refer to it as the Calabar method. In a clean bowl, I will add the desired amount of fufu and then add some water to dissolve it into a paste. If you want your fufu to be strong and dense, use less water to create a thick paste. However, if you prefer a softer and fluffier texture, add more water. I love the softer consistency. Once I've achieved the desired consistency, I'll pour the mixture into a pot, turn on the stove, then I'll start stirring. At this stage, you have to keep stirring. It will show as if it's forming lumps. Do not worry, just continue stirring. As you're stirring, the lumps will gradually disappear. So keep stirring. As you can see, the lumps has disappeared. The texture is changing. The color is also changing, but it's not yet ready. Just stir till you get this consistency and this color. You can see it has turned from white, pure white to light, to dark white a little bit. So this is the consistency that you need. Once you have achieved this texture and this color, you can now go in with some water. Cover the pot and let it cook for 5 minutes, so that we'll be sure that the fufu is properly cooked and it is okay for consumption. So after 5 minutes, then I will stir the fufu very well. You can see how fluffy, how soft it's looking. In fact, ready to go into my stomach. As you can see, my fufu is ready, looking fluffy and soft. This is the texture I like. So tell me guys, which one do you prefer? I'll proceed to tie it in a cling film. If you have not liked this video or subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe. You will love it here. And please share this video, like this video. It will help me get more visibility. And now the 2 methods of making fufu are ready. Which one do you prefer? The turning one or the pounding one? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Serve your fufu with your favorite Nigerian soup. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.